Greetings, Noveans. This is NQ-Nyota, and we welcome you to this NovaQuark video presentation. Today, I am joined by two esteemed members of our NovaQuark team. First, please welcome from our game design team, NQ-Entropy.
Hey guys.
Also with us is associate producer and the wearer of many hats, NQ-Deckard.
Hey everyone.
For quite a few months now, the discussion about a dual universe reset or a wipe has been a very popular subject within our community and also inside of NQ. We know that it has been difficult, and not knowing what the future holds for dual universe has left many of you frustrated. The NovaQuark team wishes to thank each and every one of you for your patience during this time. The main reason why it has taken so long to come to a decision about a reset is because of how important it is to all of us to make the right choice. Included in that are the players, both new and experienced, as well as the game called Dual Universe. We have taken all of the considerations into account, and we examined every corner of the game with a fine-tooth comb. The decision-making was also an intensely involved process with many conversations across every department. Are you ready? The wait is now over. NQ-Entropy, please give us the news that everyone has been waiting for. Will there be a reset of Dual Universe?
Yeah, so there will be a reset for Dual Universe at launch. It feels weird to finally say out loud, and again, we apologize for the time that it took to come out with this information. But before we go any further, two quick things. First of all, we're not going to say today when the launch is, but there will be some information about that rapidly. And second of all, we do have some rewards packages planned for you guys, and we will be talking about those today a little bit later. So before we get to that, talking about the reset, let's talk about the why. The beta has been running for over 2 years now. The game has been in constant development. The game has changed. The rules have changed, the rule sets, and some pre-core features were changed or sometimes even just removed. The first thing that I want to talk about is the economy. Let's be honest, the economy right now is not in the best of spots. I'm not here to claim that the economy after the reset, will be perfect. It won't be, and it's something that we're going to have to keep working on and keep adjusting. But right now, the economy sort of exists in the shadows of everything that came previously. Some of the older players obviously will know what I'm talking about. There were some big duping exploits at various points. We had things like the mega nodes, which pumped a ton of materials into the game, and then we had obviously the uncapped affiliate missions, which added a ton of liquid quanta into the game. These were all problems in their own right, and honestly, we just need to start over on this point. From our side, we need to be vigilant, not to let that sort of thing happen again, but I don't think we could continue and try to fix the state of the economy as it is right now. Secondly, let's talk a little bit about performance, and let's talk a little bit about planets. So we've done geometry resets before. Some of you guys have been through them. These are usually a little bit painful for everybody involved. They take a lot of work and time from both our customer support guys when it comes to digging out constructs. It takes a lot of time for us to make sure that everything went the way that we wanted it to go. Doing a full reset has allowed us to be more aggressive in tuning and finalizing the look and feel of numerous planets. In the past, we've been reluctant to do significant changes to the look and to the geometry of planets because of the live server. You guys are building great bases on the side of mountains. You guys are building, beachside resorts. You guys are building things over the water, stuff like that. And if we were to make geometry changes on the live server, all of those would be changed or wasted, or where there used to be a mountain, now there isn't anymore, and that would be a problem. So doing a full reset has allowed us to take certain steps to change the look and feel of certain planets and pretty drastically improve some of our worst looking planets, to be fair. On this same point, from a performance point of view in regards to a launch, this truly does allow us to reset the world, and this includes constructs. Despite our efforts on regulatory systems, and to be fair, most of them have done their jobs, We still have a couple of things that we need to look at, something surrounding HQ territory, certainly. But for the launch, on the performance front, it allows us to have a very clean slate with no old and no contaminant constructs that are lurking in the background, sort of damaging the performance and the state of the game. Lastly, we're looking for a fresh start on the state of the universe, if you will. We need to sort of reset everything. We need to shed some of the sins of the past and sort of, start over. Linked to that, we've thought a lot about new players. You usually only get to launch a game once, in the best of circumstances, and we hope that we only have to launch DU once. And we've thought about players coming into the game, and new players coming into such an established world is a little bit of a scary prospect. The launch of a game is usually a good moment to drum up some marketing noise and try to attract some new players and get the game noticed and get a flow of new players into the game. But unfortunately, it doesn't really feel like the launch if you come into the game and there's already a ton of people and a ton of constructs and everything, and you're so far behind. That doesn't really feel like the launch of a game. I think when we're talking about MMOs specifically, there's a certain magic in being there for the early days of the MMO, when everyone is new. Not you guys, but most people are new. When everyone is low level, when most people at least don't really know what they're doing, everybody's sort of exploring, everybody's sort of doing their own thing. I think that's a very magical moment in a lot of MMOs, and that's something that we wanted for the launch of Dual Universe, and unfortunately that wasn't possible without a reset. So I think those sum up the major points of sort of our thoughts. Obviously there were a lot more things that go on set today, but those are the major points of why we ended up going for a reset for the launch of Dual Universe.
Excellent. Thank you for all that information, Entropy. Now, the other question comes to us, and can you tell us what will be reset?
Yeah, I'm going to take that question. So just a quick summary, I'm NQ-Deckard, and I'll just be running through a few details of the reset with you all. So let's start at the top. All constructs, territories, and everything including the sanctuary moons, will be reset. They'll go straight back to square one. The economy, the wallets, territory balances, organization wallets, nanopacks, packages, containers, all those kinds of things will also be reset. Any elements containing Lua, HTML, or any other data like databanks and such will also be reset. So it's important to remember to back up any code and any existing materials you have stored that you want to have after the reset. Planets, terrain, and all terraforming will reset. Talent points will be reset. More on that a little bit later. Organizations, to a certain extent, will also be reset. So organization members will no longer be members of an organization. An organization will be brought back to zero, barring its super legate. As we have a lot of members who are inactive and such, we want to give every organization the chance to reestablish itself correctly. That essentially sums up the vast majority of the things that will be reset.
But of course, players will be able to keep some elements. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes. So there are a few things that won't be reset, or that we will be intentionally keeping following the reset. Those are things like, obviously, your avatar names will remain the same. Your friends list will remain intact. Organization names, logos, and their manifestos will remain intact as it is. But like I said earlier, the member list will be empty except for the super legate, who will still be in control. Any organization that doesn't have a player as a super legate will be removed from the game, because we've changed the way that constructs are assigned now with construct slots. Next, core blueprints. Now that's a little bit more tricky, but I'll go into detail. Any core blueprint that belongs to you as a player that you have in your possession, and it only goes for core blueprints, not copies. Any core blueprint that is in your possession, that means if it's in your nano pack, inside a container of a construct that is personally owned by you, or inside a package that's in either of those two locations, that will be back in your nano pack after the reset. The next item is core blueprints belonging to organizations. So that's any core blueprint that's inside a container or inside a package in a container on board a construct that fundamentally belongs to an organization. Those core blueprints will be returned to the super legate after the reset. Lastly, DRM. There's a little bit of a change happening there because of the cleanup of the organizations. We will be shifting the DRM around a little bit to hopefully unlock some of the DRM locked blueprints that aren't functioning entirely correctly currently because certain organizations don't exist anymore, but they were the creator of a blueprint. We're going to aim to try and clean that up as well, so most of the blueprints should function as intended. Lastly, the other thing that will be restored to you is any recruit a friend rewards that you were given and any two-factor authentication rewards that you were given. That is, I believe, the recruit a friend reward. The only rewards that you will not get out of that is the extra time that you've already consumed. But all the items and skins will come back to you again.
And that's not all. We also have some gifts to thank our players who supported us during this time. What are those gifts?
So we've put together 3 packages. We're calling them Pioneer packages to thank the people that have supported us throughout the entire development period of Dual Universe. So each of these packs you're going to receive after the reset. They include usually some talent points, some quanta, and some exclusive items. We have 3 different packages. That is the Advanced Pack, the Rare Pack, and the Exotic Pack. So I'll start with the Advanced Pack. The Advanced Pack is for anybody who's subscribed between 1 and 3 months. So if you subscribe 1, 2, or 3 months, you'll get 1 million talent points per month for 6 months at the end of each month, for a grand total of 6 million talent points. Then you'll also get 100,000 quanta per month for 6 months, given at the end of each month, just like the talent points, for a grand total of 600,000 quanta. Then you'll also receive 2 collectible items, which I won't go into detail on now, but they'll be a nice surprise for later. And 5 schematics for a small dynamic core. Secondly, we have the Rare Pack. The Rare Pack is for anybody who's subscribed between 4 and 12 months, plus Iron, Bronze, and Silver backers who backed us on Kickstarter, and our contributor founders. They will receive the Rare Pack, which includes 2 million talent points per month for 6 months, given at the end of each month, for a total of 12 million talent points. They get 200,000 quanta per month for 6 months, given at the end of each month again, for a total of 1.2 million quanta. And they get 3 collectible items and 5 schematics for small and medium dynamic cores. Then last, there is the Exotic Pack, which is for anybody who's subscribed for 13 or more months, our gold and above backers, and sponsors and patron founders. They will get 3 million talent points for 6 months, given at the end of each month, for a total of 18 million.
18.
Thank you, Entropy.
No worries.
18 million talent points. They also get 400,000 quanta for 6 months, given at the end of each month, for a total of 2.4 million million quanta, and 4 collectible items, along with 5 schematics for small, medium, and large dynamic cores. That's the exotic pack. To keep it fair and accessible to everybody, because some of you might want to get more exotic items, whatever, at launch, we're going to make it so that it goes by how much subscription you have cumulative. So even if you've subscribed beyond the launch date, you'll still be able to get it. So if you've played for a month and you subscribe for an extra 12 months, you will still be entitled to the largest pack. Lastly, we'll also be applying a talent point generation boost after the launch for all players. This will also greatly impact your total talent points that you can possibly accumulate. So after 6 months with the advanced pack, you have the potential to reach around 41 million talent points. With the rare pack, you would have the potential to reach around 47 million talent points, and the exotic pack a potential of around 53 million talent points. More information on that will follow in the further launch communication that will come at a later date. Lastly, I just want to say, I know this news has been pretty tough to hear for quite a few of you. It's not a decision we've made very lightly. We've been struggling with it internally for quite some time. It's been a tough one, but in the interest of the long-term good of the game, we do feel that it's necessary to start with a clean slate. So with that, I thank you all for your patience. Back to you, Nyota.
And thank you, Deckard.
Thanks, everyone.
And also a huge thank you to Entropy.
No worries.
And from all of us here at NovaCork, we want to personally thank all of you for helping us make Dual Universe what it is today. All of this information will be available in written form soon after this video is posted, and we will speak to all of you again soon with more exciting news. Signing off now, thanks for joining us.